I'm gonna let this one take a minute here. Now that I got enough light, we good. Alright, but whew, this one's a little bit deep, y'all. This involves some of the kids. And the stuff I'm covering is a little bit sensitive. So if you get sentimental quickly, I do not recommend you stay in this vlog at all. Man, please. I even had to put some freaking chapstick. Alright? Alright, y'all. We gonna get it kind of lit up in here. Okay, so first and foremost, let me turn my music down because y'all be knowing that I gotta really worship because with the direction of this nation, with the direction of this country, we are in deep mess. Whew! But as you've seen, my thumbnail is Clark County School District. So like I specified previously, if you get sentimental quickly, do not watch my vlog. Alright? Alright, we're going to talk about this. Clark County school teacher writes a offensive racial slur on a whiteboard. First of all, I graduated from class of 2005. My husband graduated from class of 2004. Oh my goodness, even from those classes, teachers were bad. Okay, I personally had a teacher who told me that I was going to work in a Chinese nail shop and that I should immediately drop out because I was to be doomed. She said that I would never get married. I'm married. She said I would never be a mother. I got 5 kids. I would have had 9 kids if I didn't have my miscarriages. I would have been a big time mom. And those are just some of the messed up things that I had that one teacher tell me. And this is a Clark County School District teacher who taught at Bonanza High School. And for those of you who are wondering, yes, that is where I graduated from. So we're gonna talk about this, okay? Because I just feel like, whoo, Brett Cooper, you're bringing it on, girl. Oh my goodness. Holy crap. A teacher actually wrote a racial slur on the whiteboard and actually thinks it's okay. Like, actually thinks that it's acceptable to write racial slurs to teach the student body. You know what? Honestly, y'all, the superintendent that I had the year that I was in grade school, I'm a part of the class of 05, okay? I've been here for about a minute. I have never, in all of Nevada's history, I've been here almost half my life. I moved here when I was 7 years old, and I have been here since. So, and currently I'm 36 years old. Okay? 30 freaking 6 years old. But a teacher, a Clark County school teacher, actually thinks that it is okay for him or her to have put a racial slur on the whiteboard and leave it there for all 6 periods to see. Now, if you're not familiar with the way Clark County School District works, there are 6 classes, whether you be in junior high or high school. The only one that I think is not like that is elementary, and elementary is like a piece of cake. But once you hit junior high school, and college, that's when things could be kind of rigorous and slightly a bit challenging depending on the person. Because if you're not goal oriented and you struggle a lot, it could be a massive challenge from the beginning. I have been, my heart, I just, from that devastation from my family to seeing this article coming out, what is going on with today's world, really? Okay, I am a freedom fighting patriot, committed mom of five, human rights and civil rights activist. I have done it all. I am still currently fighting for civil rights. A lot of you people in Nevada don't realize the things that are going on behind closed doors. And while you guys have your eyelids shut on your pillow, there are so many of us who are wide awake fighting the system. And let me tell you something, dealing with these senators and dealing with these rude people from Capitol Hill and from Congress and all that, and then from the school district, it's a lot. It is a lot to deal with. And trust and believe, I am not the only one. There is a whole freaking army of us that are going up against these freaking clowns. Because I will be damned if any freaking public teacher victimizes children. What disturbs me the most about this comment is that they want to normalize being a disgruntled adult, being not necessarily delusional, but just sick in the head, period. I could use the real terminology, but I guarantee you I would be censored and deplatformed within seconds. And I just simply can't have that. So yes, I'm going to utilize the term sick and mentally ill in the head, because that is literally what it is. This teacher, for y'all who are wondering, because I know that's what's coming next year, like, you're talking about this teacher who put racist stuff on a whiteboard, who left it there for all 6 periods to see, who knows what these children were taking out of it. So you see, civil rights is a massive deal. I have been doing this all of my life, from when I was 16 years old all the way to now, which is how I know how to navigate the system. Like, it disgusts me, it breaks my heart, it frustrates me personally on a grand scale, because I am a mom of 5, and I do not want my children to grow up in a society that is so effed up that your own child, your own son or daughter, cannot walk on the sidewalk for the fear of being jumped by another race. The America that I knew, it didn't matter if you were African American, if you were Hispanic, if you were an Asian American, or even if you were a Caucasian from the UK or wherever in the world you were from, you were loved and accepted. And as long as you contributed to society as a whole, you were accepted as who you are. My frustration runs so deep, which is why, from the depths of my soul and my core, this is why I chose to fight civil rights, because none of our children, including mine, deserves to grow up in a effed up society that thinks that being a pedo is okay and that it should be normalized. There is nothing okay about it. There is nothing that is going to be normal about it. And trust and believe me, there are an army full of patriots who are ready to rise up and defend children at all costs. So let this be a note to everybody out there. Do not make the mistake of trying to victimize children, because so help me God, there are so many of us out there who will be ready and up at that front line when they call us. And all they got to do is come crying and being in tears, and trust and believe you'll have the army at your doorstep. Now, I'm not talking about the military. I'm talking about us real patriots. It is not just ex-military. It's mothers and fathers who have been doing this for a long time, like myself. I have seen the faces of every ugly in this damn world, but nothing compares or can come close to comparing to what this Clark County school teacher just did. Putting a racial slur on a freaking whiteboard, leaving it there for all 6 periods to see. What message do you think, sir or ma'am, that you sent out to who knows how many children? And at the end of the day, they're gonna go home to mom and dad and be like, yo, mom and dad, This is what my teacher posted up on the freaking whiteboard. This was the assignment. It's really thought-provoking, isn't it? Now, what if he's putting a racial slur up there? What can we assume would be the assignment? Because I'll tell you 1 and 2 for certain. I am the mom that stood up to a racist piece of trash who put a rifle to my head. In front of I don't know how many thousands of people, because I was actively at a protest when this happened. And I told him straight to his face, I bet you're too weak-minded and too coward to launch a bullet out that gun. And the hatred that you spewed at me, not gonna work. Because I know who I am. And I see myself as such. So nothing that you do, nothing that you say is going to frighten me. And if you think you got the balls to shoot the gun in front of I don't know how many thousands of people, okay. Well, and Lord and behold, the weakling drove right off. He couldn't handle the heat. He couldn't handle the reality of my words. So you see, I'm not exactly that mom that's afraid of guns or their bullets or even losing my life. Because by all freaking means, if somebody is bullying any child, it doesn't matter if it's my children, your son, your daughter, your niece or nephew, I don't care who it is. If I catch a grown adult preying on a child, trying to teach them incorrectly, I am 110% that mom that will shield that child and take the bullet for that child and give my life. I am not afraid of death. And part of that is because I am so profoundly planted in my faith that even if God calls me home, I know where I stand. And all I got to do is pray on it and wait until either I am saved or I just ultimately go home. So really, either way, there's no loss. But being a civil rights activist was a passion of mine since I was a teenager, since I was 16 years old. I couldn't stand the sight of seeing a broken soul. I love to uplift people. It is who and what I am. But let me make one thing clear. I am the most loving person. I am soft and furry and cute and fuzzy and whatever the hell else you want to say. But make no mistake, nobody will victimize any of my children. And I will not allow anybody to victimize your children. Let me set that record straight. Because that is the mother that I am. For example, there was this little junior high school girl who thought she was going to bully my daughter. But she didn't realize at that time that my daughter had allies. And thank God for that ally, okay? Really, thank God. That ally saw what happened, stepped in for my daughter, saved her life, and then consulted me directly. We almost spent 45 minutes talking, period. And I was so flabbergasted and I was so hyped up that I was shaking. I was angry. I was moved to my core. And I couldn't help but to thank this girl and give my gratitude to her. Because she is a young woman. And what she did for my daughter is something that I will never be able to repay. And those are the kind of young women that America needs. A woman that will step in front of a bully and defend a voiceless child. Period. I am so grateful for them. So grateful for them. Words just, I can't express my gratitude enough. But let me make one thing perfectly clear to the rest of the world. I am a freedom fighting patriot. I have been doing this for over 36 years. And as such, I will not allow any adult or any child to bully, harass, or put their hands on my children or anybody else's children. So if I catch you, even if you tell me it's not my business, I'm going to make it my business. No grown adult should ever put their hands on a child. Ever. Okay? Now, I know the argument is going to be like, well, what if? What if? I don't care about the what ifs because I care about the present and the here and the now. And if I see a grown, disgusting adult preying on a child, if I even see that they're trying to hurt a child, I will step in, and I do not give a flying rat's freaking ass if you tell me that it ain't none of my business, because I'm about to make it my business. Period. I will not stand to see children hurt. Period. And for that same reason, that's why I've had repeated attempts on my life. Now, I'm not going to go full into detail, blah, 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 blah. This ain't no story time, so don't get it twisted. We ain't going there. Just understand that I'm the mom that will take a bullet for my own children and for your children. Because the last thing I'm going to sit here and do is allow a child to be victimized by a grown adult who probably has a mentality of who knows. I am the mom that will take a bullet for any of my children, even my husband. I am that wife and that mom and that sister and that aunt that will 110% take a bullet for my children, my husband, or anybody else's children. I will not sit here and watch a child being hurt. I won't. Now, I'm not Mother Teresa. I can't save the whole world. But for those that I'm physically around, oh, you best believe it. Don't ever tell me it ain't my business because I'm about to make it my business. I ain't watching no more kids getting hurt. I ain't gonna let no racist people prey on on these voiceless children. Cause ain't not a single child up in that school do anything that horrific that they gotta be putting no racial slurs on a damn whiteboard. Straight up. And as you see by my thumbnail, I'm on fire by this. No, a person of education, first of all, when Nevada was first created, we're diving back into history because it seems like everybody forgot it. But at the inception of Clark County School District, at the beginning, you were not to bring up your faith. You were not supposed to bring up your political views. You were not supposed to bring up your perspectives on a personal level. You were supposed to leave that at home. Meaning that you're not supposed to push any kind of agenda in the classroom. And Lord and behold, Mr. So-and-so is in office now, and that's all we're seeing. That is literally all we are seeing. Are grown-ass adults, grown adults preying on children. Here in Clark County, the year of 2020, so the beginning of the pandemic, right, everybody? Clark County School District did statistics and found that 98% of elementary school fifth graders were committing suicide. Because right here in Las Vegas, the McDonald's parks were closed. The public parks, because Governor Sisolak, during that time, he saw to it that those things remained closed. That no mask, no attending. He held firm to that. I mean, he's a Democratic governor, so I mean, what could we expect? He wasn't truly for the freedom of all Nevadans. He really wasn't. And you can speak to any other revolutionary folks here who are here in Nevada, and it's not just me. There's a whole arsenal of us. I wish I could introduce you guys to so many of them. But quite frankly, Back in 2020, at the beginning of all this, Governor Sisolak never gave a flying hoot about Nevada. He shut down small businesses. He shut down a lot of stores and jacked up the economy here locally. I had another YouTube channel, and that channel got taken away from me because somebody reported my video at the beginning of the pandemic because I went, being the whack exclusive person that I am, I went to the Las Vegas Strip and I recorded everything because I thought in that time people needed to see that. They needed to see what is really happening. But you see, shortly thereafter, they decided to start all this mass censorship. So it screwed me the hell over. Me and many others, I should say. So when I saw this article about this educational teacher putting a racial slur on a whiteboard, it set me off. For the simple fact that no educational teacher should ever tell a child, and Ezekiel, leave her alone. No teacher should ever tell a child anything like that. And to put a racial slur, what assignment do you think that these people gave these kids? Remember, it's six periods in a day. So all 6. What do you guys think that the assignment was? Go punch a minority. Really? But guess what? That teacher got investigated. And as of today, they got fired. And good for that freaking school for doing that. Because people like that do not belong in the classroom. Ezekiel, leave her alone. And I'm going to watch her. People like that do not and should not be in the classroom. I am so sick and tired. Tell them to leave her alone.
Leave her alone, please, Baba.
I'm sick and tired of seeing these teachers denigrating kids, molesting them, and worst. You know, just this year alone, I can't even tell you, there's been like, Ezekiel, enough. There has been 4 instances where kids have gone on campus with guns. One of them got his arrested by officers and was brutally beaten by them. And there's an active lawsuit against Clark County School Police Department. This phenomena has been going on long enough. It needs to stop now. Now, my husband and I were from the class of 2004 and 2005. Ezekiel, the light goes off. But let me tell you something. We had a respectable superintendent during that time. The guy who's presently there, he's not valuable, bro. He is not valuable. He endangered and robbed the student body. He don't stand for the freedom and sanctity of these kids. Oh, gun violence this, gun violence that. Oh, yeah, we want to pass this agenda, so we're going to teach your kids some sexual perverse sex ed. No. Okay? And I think I speak for almost every parent up here in Clark County. Or at least just about 60%-ish of them. Anyway. I'm glad that teacher got fired. But what is most important is that you learn from this experience. That just because they are in the place of education doesn't mean that they're right in the head. It doesn't mean that they're okay. It doesn't mean that they are a good teacher. Because by definition, good teachers inspire. They motivate. They teach with passion. That is what a teacher is meant to do. They're not there to tell you how stupid you are, how you're not going to graduate, or if you need to go work in a nail shop, or even if you're going to make it in life. They're not there for that. And if they say crap like that, immediately fired. That needs to be implemented today. I am so sick and tired of seeing local news, students shot. One student here in Nevada was so brutally beaten by 3 kids that he nearly lost his life for it. And what pissed me off about that is that the parents could not afford a freaking attorney. So the school district was this joyride happy, situation where they're like, oh, you can't get legal help. I'm going to do what I want. No, because there are people who may perhaps not actively be a lawyer, but we still know the laws. So that's where they're wrong. And my thoughts and my prayers go out to that family and to that young man, because his life has never been the same. And that is out of line. That is where I personally draw the line. Bullying and racism has no place in the place of education. Period. It's bad enough that they got you indoctrinated. The last thing that we need to do is to allow bullying and violence in the place of education. Period. I said what I said, and I ain't taking none of it back.